Hi everybody. Okay, so I've been saying I was going to do this for like over a year and I finally did it. So here's my YouTube channel. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing kind of like I guess you could say like a really orangey fall look. And I know it's not fall anymore. Rest in peace pumpkin spice, but my amazing roommate just got me the Tarte Toasted palette for Christmas and I'm really excited to use it. And I posted a look and a lot of people liked it. So that's what we're doing today and I hope you guys really enjoy it. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Let's just get started, shall we? You're going to need to prime your face. My current favorite is the Hangover RX by Too Faced. I have pretty dry skin, and so this is like kind of a more moisturizing one. If you have like more oily skin, you would probably like a pore filling one, like the NYX Angel Veil, or the Smashbox has really good pore fillers. And then next we're just gonna go in with Naked Skin Urban Decay foundation. I really like this. It is liquidy, so I always shake it up, and I wouldn't say it's super full coverage. I think you can definitely build it, but I would probably describe it as a more medium coverage foundation. This is what I've been wearing lately, just because I've been at college, so I don't do like a full beat. I usually like go to class like this, of course, minus the foundation dots. I don't really wear makeup on a daily basis, which I think some people are surprised by or think is weird, because I do love makeup so much, but it's just not something I can fit into my daily routine. I love sleep more than I love makeup. So as you can see, I like to put my foundation in dots around my face so I know that it's going to be evenly distributed. And then like I like to first just do kind of like light motions with my brush just to kind of get everything moving. This obviously isn't going to like blend it in perfectly, but I just want to kind of cover the face and see if there's any spots that I really missed, like a big gaping pale pink area that needs some help. And then I'll kind of just go in and start to really smooth everything out. Now, do my usually my face and really normal day working. Okay, so now we found it. Next, we're gonna put on some concealer. So I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. It's great concealer. It is completely adequately hyped. It may seem overhyped, but it's not. It's the best concealer I've ever used. The shade I have might be a little bit dark for me. Like I think it probably like matches my skin pretty well. I usually like it a shade or two dark or shade or two lighter, but I ordered online, so what are you gonna do? So I just like to put that much under my eyes, a little stripe down my nose. I like to make like a little, it looks like a little flower type of situation, and then a stripe across there, and then another little flower down there. Notice I did not dip back into it. I'm just saying, goes a long way. So this is actually a trick I learned from Jackie Ina. If you know me, you know she's one of my favorite YouTubers. I let my concealer sit and kind of dry just a little bit while I do my bronzing or maybe a little powder contouring. That just helps to, when you do go to blend it out, it's gonna keep its pigment and it's gonna keep its shape a little bit. Okay, so this, in my opinion, is the best brush to blend out your concealer in the entire world. It is the Morphe E8. And I love it. If you see it, it looks like a little teeny tiny foundation brush. Like it looks kind of just like my foundation brush, but miniature. This is the Morphe M439, by the way. And it is just small enough that it can just get right in there where you need it. And it's dense yet fluffy at the same time. Oh, it just diffuses it better than anything I've ever seen. I love it. So we're gonna set using RCMA no color powder, and this is the perfect brush for the job. This is the Morphe M438. As you can see, it's like a fluffy, like taper brush. Sorry, you could probably just see a bunch of powder flicking off of it, but that's just how it goes. So I like to just dip it in, tap it off, because like I said, I have pretty dry skin, so I don't really set my face for like oil prevention. It's more to like keep lines away and like to keep my makeup from separating throughout the day, but also to kind of like bring some brightness to that area. Like you'll see, this is one of my favorite things to do, is to go under where I bronzed and just draw out your chin. Because if you're like me, you have a weak chin, your jawline is not on fleek, and you want to make that lower part of your face here, you want to make that seem as big as possible, even though she's struggling. So now we're gonna let all that sit there while we do our eyes. Okay, this is a trick that I learned from Jaclyn Hill, and I do it every time I do my makeup. I do it every time I do someone else's makeup, and I can't stop. So this is the perfect brush for it, and it's the Morphe E47, and I tap it into the translucent powder, and you're gonna go on the outside of your eye, and it's kind of like the tape trick but with powder, so you can just wipe it away and it won't like mess up your base. Obviously I look like a psychopath, but that's fine. What's new? Okay, so now we are ready. Time to get toasty. Okay, so my go-to brush to start every look is the Morphe R37. As you can see, she's pretty dirty, but also, more importantly, she's a big, fluffy, natural bristle brush, and so she is just gonna help us take our first shade and just get it down and just very lightly diffuse that all over the eye. So I'm using the first shade in the palettes. I'm going to be using the first shade in the palette, S'more. It's pretty close to my skin tone, so I'm just going to use that to set the concealer that we put on there earlier as our base. So we're pretty much just going to work our way around the palette for this look, because we want just very warm and very like cozy and fiery, and as you can see, all of these shades are going to get us there. So moving from S'mores down to Cashmere, we're going to go and we're going to focus this a little bit more in the crease area. This is going to be our transition shade. Okay, so now we're switching over to the M441 because we want to get this a little bit tighter, and we're going from Cashmere to Warmth. Warmth is the orangiest shade in the palette, and it really, as soon as it touches your eye, like you know that your look is getting what it needs. Okay, and now just to like kind of mellow all that together, we're gonna go back into cashmere and kind of give a little mixy-do. So now moving to an even smaller brush. Here's the M506 from Morphe. It's a very small, fluffy, natural hair blending brush. And we're gonna jump to the darker shades now. So we're gonna be going into Cozy. And we're gonna focus this on the outer portion of the eye. We want this to be kind of smoky. And if you remember from when I first showed you the look, we're gonna put some glitter on the inside, so we don't want that to get too dark because we wanna have a nice light base for that. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the darkest shade in the palette, which is Fireside down here in the corner. Okay, so this is what we have right now. Smoky, fiery, blended. That's what you want. Especially blended. Okay, so I kind of want to do like a half cut crease type of situation because I've never done that before and I think it would kind of kick it up a little bit. So stay tuned. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Shape Tape and I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. And then I have this teeny tiny brush. This is the brush I use to dye my eyebrows, which obviously I need to do. New video idea. So I'm going to take a little bit of the concealer. And I'm probably, okay, so my natural crease, as you can see, is like right here, but I'm gonna take it right there. So not too much higher, but just high enough that it'll round things out and accentuate my eye a little bit more. Good. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. This eye is a little bit wonky, and I think it's because I started out with too much concealer. So when you do this, just remember to go in with like a very light amount and just building up is your friend. You don't want to go in with too much at first. Okay, so now that that's happened, we're going to be mixing together Sunset and Flame. So actually we're gonna put on layers of Sunset and then we're gonna use Flame to kind of blend it into the darker shades, and then if it's still not looking cute enough, we're gonna put in a little bit of this one to really make it pop. This will probably go in the inner corners and like the eyebrow, so we'll stick it in there anyway probably. So with shimmers, you always use a flat brush, and I like to go in with it dry first, just, you know, see what it's got, and then layer it up with something wet. So that's actually not looking too bad. That's completely dry, only one color. So, feeling pretty good. Now we're gonna go in with that same color, Sunset, and we're gonna spray it with some Milani Make It Last. So can you see the difference? They're both pretty, but how this one just kind of looks metallic and this one looks shimmery. Something to think about. That stuff smells so good, by the way. Oh. Right. So we're definitely looking fiery. We're definitely looking toasty. Now we're going to kick it up with some flame on the edges to kind of blend that. And I'm going to go back in with that gold color Sunset and layer that over top because we don't want to lose that. We just want it to kind of like perfectly blend from like gold to rose gold to like rose. So now we're just gonna go in with a Morphe E17 and use Candle to do our inner corners. And our brow bones. We'll also take it on the nose. And why not just use it all over our face? I'm gonna go get rid of that. And then I'm gonna take a Morphe M510 candle and we don't want our highlight too intense today because the eyes are pretty glittery, but you still want a little bit of glow going on. So the only things we have left are brows, lashes, and lips. So I'm just gonna go wrap those up on my own and I'll be back to show you guys what the final look looks like. So far, I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty cute. Stand by. All right, so this is the final look. As you can see, it's a little bit different from the one on my Instagram. I did use a different lip and I did add lashes. The eyelashes are crappy ones from CVS. They're like Ardell's. And the lipstick is Kylie's Lip Kit in Pumpkin, which I thought was really cute because I think I'm going to name this something like Pumpkin Spicy because look at me. I'm just a little latte. Okay, well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. And I hope to see you again soon.